Thanksgiving is almost here, and if you're going to be stuck in the house and you want to know what should I binge next, well, I recommend the messy family drama, The Crown. While watching The Crown, I saw many examples of what is modern day public relations. And if you're an entrepreneur or a professional and you do not know what is PR, well, I'm going to not only give you The Crown Season 4 reaction, because, ooh child, I'm also going to define public relations for you. Welcome to Coffee with Me, Myself, and Ivy, where I give professionals and entrepreneurs social media tips, communication industry best practices with pop culture examples. Before we talk about The Crown and what is public relations, let's start off with a motivational quote. Because it's the holidays, it's hectic, and you need a little motivation to take back your life. Do not wait for a coronation. The greatest emperors crowned themselves. Robert Greene. So The Crown Season 4, my reaction is, have you ever been to someone's house before COVID and you witnessed some family drama and you left the house both drained but very entertained? That is how I feel about this season. Now I must say it's one of my favorite seasons, especially with maybe season 2 is another great season. However, season 4, you have both the Diana era and the Margaret Thatcher, I am the Iron Lady, is not a game era. Like, this was an interesting show this season. Now, of course, The Crown is on Netflix, so that's why I was like, I'm gonna binge this on a Sunday and knock it out so I can do a video for you. Whew, there was a lot of Googling to see if, did this really happen? Did that really happen? And yes, most of the real life events happen. It's just the writers created monologues behind it. A particular character in the Crown universe that I'm trying to be polite to is Margaret Thatcher. Gillian Anderson, aka X-Files Scully, played that character like she won an award because, woo! Margaret Thatcher, we have to give her props. This is the UK's first female prime minister. But let's be realistic. If you study any parts of history, you know everybody may not feel some of her policies. But Gillian Anderson, she's like, you're going to understand Margaret Thatcher. You're going to feel the weight of her reign. While I'm at it, let's talk about the other characters that did a great job. So we have actress Emma Corrin playing Princess Diana. She did such a good job of demonstrating how young she was when she married Prince Charles. Emma also did a good job portraying how Diana was very vulnerable and was really expecting a fairy tale out of this, and as we all know, that didn't happen. However, I must say a lot of people are talking about that many folks are not happy of the portrayal of Princess Diana, and Harry has a deal with Netflix. Let's talk about old Josh O'Connor, who played Prince Charles. Josh O'Connor did a perfect job playing Prince Charles because last season you see Prince Charles kind of as a victim. This season is more complicated. He's kind of like a victim villain. And I'm sorry, we all know how this turned out. I don't like Camilla in the Crown universe, and I was fine with it at first. You know, Camilla and Charles are married now in real life. And at first I'm like, you know what? They have a love story over time. Even allegedly, and they brought this up in the Crown, that one of her great ancestors was a mistress to one of his great something kings in the past. What's strange about them bringing this up, I saw this in like a TV movie a long time ago. So the fact this was brought up, I completely forgot. I was like, oh, y'all really bringing all the tea? Because woo. Anywho, I understand that this young man had an idea of he's the next king, who he wants to love, etc. But when I say Joshy Josh played Prince Charles to the T, let's just say I'm in my feelings about Charles and Camilla. Olivia Colman did a good job as the queen as usual. Very complex. There's very different sides of her. And I love when her and Gillian would like go head to head as Margaret Thatcher and the queen. Like, ooh, drama. Like that drama when you're in the office and people are in a meeting and they're arguing, but they're not arguing. So one of my favorite scenes is in episode 5. Where it's about a story, I swear I have heard it before. Someone broke into the Queen's palace at least twice or more than once. And one time when they broke in, they actually entered the Queen's bedroom and talked to her. They did a whole episode about this, and the beginning of the episode features the guy that broke in the Queen's bedroom to talk to her. It's clear he lives in public housing. I believe in the United Kingdom they call it an estate. There's a scene where it shows him leaving his estate, and I must point out this is the time when there was high unemployment under Margaret Thatcher's reign. And it's clear he's going through stuff, especially when it comes to finances. And as he's walking away from his estate, they're playing The Cure's boys don't cry. I get it. I get it. Whoever said we're going to play The Cure, boys don't cry, while this man's clearly going through economic problems in his life and more problems, but it shows that as a man he can't cry. I'm sorry. It just, the shot, the scene, maybe I'm just being over dramatic, but perfection, that one scene. I love that scene. I got it. But basically my reaction to season 4 is it was interesting to see how they were showing the power dynamics moving in the royal family and outside the royal family. For example, there's an episode where Charles and Diana went on a tour in Australia during a new leader's reign, and he was really pushing the idea or the public opinion that Australia should separate from England and the royal family, and it was really gaining momentum. But then when Diana got there, and she's so relatable and beautiful, and she brought her child and she was maternal, everyone in Australia loved her, and it killed his whole push to separate from England. And he admitted that to Prince Charles. It's something about knowing how to manage relationships and your public and pleasing your public, knowing that it's important that your success or failure depends on your public. Which leads me to how The Crown season 4 helps explain what is the modern day definition of public relations. According to Cutlip and Center's Effective Public Relations 11th edition, public relations is the management function that establishes and maintains mutually beneficial relationships between an organization and the public on whom its success or failure depends. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is if you're an entrepreneur or a professional and you're just getting into practicing public relations for your workplace or for your small business, you may not know what public relations is. You probably think it's propaganda or just publicity or something dealing with celebrities. You probably think it's just you pushing messaging to your publics. No, no, no. Gone are the days where you can just push messaging to your publics. The perfect example of this in The Crown, that not only do you need to care about your publics internally and externally, just check out episode 10 of season 4 of The Crown. Google what happened to Margaret Thatcher when she then tried to take care of her internal publics or working with her team and her external publics. Just Google it because it was messy. And also I might as well point out, if you just want a simple example of what happens if you do not maintain a mutual beneficial relationship with your publics, there's many countries that don't have royal monarchs anymore. Perfect example of this that relates to The Crown, Prince Philip, who was originally part of the Greek and Danish royal family, they were exiled from their country when he was a baby, and I believe he spent most of his time in Germany. If you do not just hone your relationship with your publics, problems can happen. So again, if you think PR is just events and some social media or a press release, just remember this definition so you can avoid trouble like half of the people in The Crown. Thank you for watching this video. Comment below if you have a pop culture example of what is PR. And also make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and join me every week for social media tips, communication industry best practices with pop culture examples. Remember, keep your peace.